Everybody, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody may sit except the scouts. May all the scouts recite the promise. I promise to do my duty, love my country, to do my best, to make sound. Obey the law.
Okay, everybody please sit down now. Thank you, Greg. Mr. Frank Warner, will you please lead us in a prayer before we eat? The troop on his Boy Scout uniform. Tonight we have one boy who's going to receive his arrow of light. The arrow represents a true path you should follow. As this arrow, its shaft is straight and true, its point keen. Thus, your path should be true to yourself and others. Will Greg and his mom please come forward? Congratulations, Greg.
I'm supposed to make a report on the greatest president the United States ever had. Say, do you know the greatest president was?
Number 3. Who's number 3?
I think George Washington was the greatest president we've ever had. After all, he became our leader after the Revolutionary War and helped mold the United States into a great country. Oh no. Abe Lincoln was president during the Civil War and fought to free the slaves and reunite all the states.
John F. Kennedy certainly has to be raised. Look how well he handled the Russians and the installing missiles in Cuba.
Don't forget Harry Truman. It was his decision that won World War II for us.
Oh, I know who the greatest president is. You hear it on the radio and TV and see it in the newspaper all the time. Yeah, who? The man who wants to be elected the next president.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you, boys.
Taking mother, father, and a sister, and making arrangements on deals. Now that is what you call one Scotty. So then, as we went along, back in 1919, I went up to first class scout, and then from first class scout to 1920, I started getting my first merit badges. The first merit badges was radio, was one of them, and firemanship was the other. Now, on the radio in those days there, it was just new. The only one that had radios before that was the ships at sea. They weren't called radio operators, they called them spark. I have my merit badge here on radio, right here. All these badges, all ants on them. Every one has a story. And on that, on the radio there, I give an example. I brought a little article. This here was part of the radio. Now we use a number 14 bare wire, wrap around it, and then you select. You had two copper wires, one out with the insulators to a pole and into the house, and then we had what they call cat's whiskers, which they used in those days there. And what they used there was what they call a piece of galena. You know what a piece of galena is? Any of you? You ever hear of it? Well, it's a stone. And from this here coil, from the antenna to the coil, to the galena, and then it hooks onto your earphones. You touch it with what a real fine wire they call cat's whiskers. And this stone is what you touched. That's the way you got radio in those days. And it's just the same way I'm transmitting. I got my license to transmit, and the call number was HCMT. And we used a Model T spark coil. And the key, and the way I learned on the Morse code there, they had what they call signal towers in those days there, where they changed, where they had the telegraph pertaining to on passenger trains and locomotives were hauling freight and all. It changed from one track to another there. And he was a good friend of mine, and he taught me the Morse code, and I managed to get my license by 10 words per minute. So I keep on going as I went up on scouting there, and then I become a fireman. How did I become a fireman? Well, when I was a youngster, I lived alongside my grandmother, was stored there, and she was just 2 doors away from the fire station. In those days there, we didn't have the fire engines. We had a team of horses with a boiler on, and I'd stop there and talk to these firemen there, and I happened to be there one day when Warren come in that day there, and they pulled a rope, horns went around, one he slapped the harness underneath the belly, hooked it together. Now he starts stoking the boiler, getting the boiler real hot, and the next thing you know, they jumped on there, one was hitting the bell. I'll tell you, that was really a sight for a young kid there. I said, I'm going to be a fireman. And I've been a fireman ever since. I've been with fire departments for the last 70 years. I'm a life member in 3 of them alone. And I organize fire departments. That started me as a fireman. So you can see what the Boy Scouts has really done for me. And what I preach today, mostly to all these young people, all of them, even the older people. On the Scout oath and law, on my honor, I'll do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to help others at all times. That has been my creed right along on helping other people, and also abstain from tobacco, drugs, and alcohol, and live up to that Scout oath and law. I will guarantee you do that, the Lord will give you a longer life. But you have to help the Lord out. I passed 90 years now. A long life. I've lived up to all this. I've outlived all my relations and everything else. Never lived as long as I have. But the Lord has been good to me, and I've been speaking to different scout troops where I get invited on this. And these young people,
Cross it over and I have to find it. I'll go. looking for? I just lost a doll and I have to find it. What are you looking for? I just lost a doll and I have to find it. Where did you lose it? Down the street. And why are you looking by the lamppost? They're the latest.